Hi there, it's Ryan Haley, and today I'm excited to be with a longtime member of our team here, one of the founding buyer agents for the company, Mike DiPietro. So, Mike, thanks for being here with us.
Hey, thanks for having me these 6 years. It's been awesome.
I can't believe it's 6 years.
It's crazy from where we started, a little spot in there, and to what we have now.
Yeah, I mean, actually, the room we're in right now, which has become our media room, was essentially our conference room for a long time. Wasn't a whole lot of space in here, but we were able to cram them in and got the job done.
Made it work.
So really happy to have you here. Really happy to take the next 20, 30 minutes here to kind of talk about your progression as an agent and your story a little bit. So I was wondering if maybe you could start off and just kind of let everybody know a little bit more about Mike DiPietro. And so maybe where you're from, what your history's been with Ocean City here. What do you got?
So, born in Cortland, New York, just south of Syracuse, right in central New York, a small little town. Came to visit a friend here a little over 20 years ago, and here we are now with a wife and 4 kids. You know, it's unbelievable. You know, love the beach. Started in the restaurant business. I've been in that for probably over 20 years, from back home and to here, and it's always been based on customer service. I mean, that's what I've always done, and I always said in the restaurant business, I think I'll quit when it becomes a job, and it's never become a job because you always meet new people, you make the relationships, you always talk to them, and it seems like it's normal.
Yeah. So a lot of your success is probably, obviously being a bartender in the restaurant world. You're behind the bar and you're hearing a lot of people's stories and learning from them. And I'm guessing that kind of has translated pretty well into real estate. You're doing a lot of the same things.
It does. With when we're bartending, I'd always say, listen, I feel like you're just at my home. If you come to my house, we might have a drink. The football game will be on. We'll have some music in the background, and we'll share some food. Mm-hmm. Same thing when I'm working and doing the same thing and treating you like a family member. And I think that's what's been a lot of my repeat business. That carries over into the real estate the same way, where people see how I treat them. They like it when maybe it's the first one they buy. Then they want to sell that 3-4 years down the road and buy another one. But they keep coming back. I think that's because of the customer service and how you make them feel so comfortable.
Yeah. So obviously you came down here, you got into the restaurant world when you were in the restaurant world back home, but your whole family and your history has always been kind of customer service as well. Tell me about, a little bit more about your parents. You got a great story from up in Cortland and what they did or still do today.
So Dad has been a barber at a little a barber shop, not a hairdresser, not a salon. It's a barber shop, the old school. And he's had that with a family store, Italian restaurant, which was hooked onto the same where he grew up. And he's been there ever since. 78 years old this year, which is crazy, but he's been there since the original. My mom carried on to that. So when you go to the barber shop, it's more of, you get a haircut, but you're finding out what's going on in town. That's the one thing. Everybody comes there to see what's going on, and maybe the same thing. You go in the back room, you might have a drink, you might have something to eat, the game's on, and you got some Frank Sinatra kicking.
Pretty cool that that customer service, that uniqueness started as, for you as a kid. You bring it into the restaurant world and you kind of treat your customers that same way. And then obviously fast forward into real estate, you're still all based around service. Let me ask you, what if it wasn't the restaurant world and it wasn't real estate, what were you going to do when you were in college? What was the plan originally before?
So growing up, I always played sports and coached when I was younger, refereed, played. Just went to college and said, I think physical education teaching is going to be what I want to do. Went through that, worked with the child care on the side, as I was going through college to support. And then I think everything was going well, kind of until I came to the beach to see, wow, this is a great life. I saw Ocean City and was just like, this is unbelievable. The beach is right here. The bay is right here. Something I never grew up with. And I think I got spoiled the first visit here. And I was like, this is what I want to make my future. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to stay and I'll make it work.
Get your sand in the toes and eventually just the sand took
toes
over.
In the sand.
And you didn't leave, huh?
Yeah.
Or couldn't leave. Couldn't pry yourself from the beach. All right, so that's great. Now, you where do you live currently?
So I'm in Berlin.
Okay.
We had a couple other places we lived in, me and my wife, but once the family started getting bigger, had a great opportunity. Knew nothing about real estate. 2010, bought our first home, and right in Berlin, Decatur Farm, and we love it. We've seen the town of Berlin, as everyone thought back then, was this is the antique town. No one goes there to hang out. It's the older town. Well, last 7-10 years, it's really just boomed.
Yeah.
Still the mom and pop stores there. They don't want to have it commercialized, but you see a lot more people come to the town, newer generations coming through, the events, the festivals, the Halloween, you can name it, Peach Festival, the banjo, the strings. They've done a great job making that town more of a destination. And it was also the coolest small town in America a couple years ago.
Yeah, we were just kind of, off camera here, before we got on, we were actually joking about the fact that it seems like the city streets, the downtown of Berlin's closed more, they close it off to allow people walking through more than it is open, which just, kind of goes to, or goes in line with what you were saying. There's always an event, there's always a festival, something going on. It's a cool town. Especially
in the off season here compared to Ocean City, where Ocean City is basically your summertime. Berlin has the fall festivals. And then the winter will come, and then the spring, and then everybody's back at the beach in the summer.
I know we're jumping ahead a little bit, but Mike, with him being here for the last 6 years, he's kind of taken on the role also of as our commander of fun, the main cheerleader for the company, and it's also in charge of the floats for the parade float. So we got that coming up in Berlin too.
So 10-year anniversary, congratulations to you, 10 years of having the company, and we have the float coming up again. We usually team up with Ludwig Construction. We'll do a nice float. We'll have the families, and the kids on the float, walking. We're in the town of Berlin coming up, and then we'll do the Ocean City one. We always do the St. Patrick's Day. So we get the 3 floats in there, and it's a great opportunity to see everyone. A lot of the locals and a lot of the people come to visit here. They come back for these festivals to see it. So it's a great opportunity to catch up with people.
Yeah. Mike's like the mayor in Berlin. We'll be cruising down the main street in Berlin with the float, and one of the years he was on the back just kind of waving to everybody, and everybody was waving back. So everybody knows Mike DiPietro, Mike D in Berlin and the surrounding areas here. All right, so moving forward here, let's talk a little bit more about once again remind everybody how long you've been in real estate. And then kind of your transition here. You got thrown in the mix relatively early. Like I said, Mike was our first agent that we really brought on.
Well, I can tell you, I remember our kids we were kids the same age, and we were at the beach. And I remember one day you said, "Hey, would you ever think about real estate?" And I was like, "No, it's not me. I'm in the bar business. That's fine." Well, third baby came on, and I was like, "You know what? I think it's time to make a change." I remember giving you a call in July, and I left the message. And you called me back and said, "Are you ready?" And I said, "Give me till the fall, and I'll be up coming on." It all started. That's 7 years this January.
7 years, which is amazing. So, 7 years. You went. You obviously took your exam. Went through all the schooling. Passed your exam. Like 2 weeks into it, you're thrown in the mix. You're starting to see buyers, and you're going out showing property right away. And you picked up on it pretty quickly, and it wasn't too long. Probably just within a month or so, you had a property or two under contract.
We were sitting in the other room, and you and I back to back, and listening to you a lot, which was great. The way you spoke to people, which I was like, wow, that's awesome. That's a great way of saying things. And following you on some properties, making some calls, trying to call people, learn the market. And then you said, "Hey, I'm going on vacation. You got this." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll answer the phone."
That was like day 2.
I got no problem. And then all of a sudden, someone showed property, so I took them out, and they said, "Hey, we want to write an offer." And I was like, "Wow, we're sitting right at this table." And I was like, "Okay, I think I got this." Wrote the offer up. I think I made a couple of phone calls to you in between. Everything went smooth. First property I sold. And then I think it was the next time you went on vacation, here comes number 2. I was like, wow, every time you go away, I get a deal. I'm like, keep moving, keep going on vacation. So I think the first 4 months was 4 deals. So it really said just jump in the fire, and you're learning as you go. And that's, I've done a lot of things that way. I've learned the knowledge, but just to get in there hands-on and say, hey, this is what you have to do, that's the best way of learning, as I thought it was.
Yeah, you got to get that firsthand experience. You can be in the book, or somebody can tell you how to do it, but until you're out there, face to face with a client, or faced with an objection, you're faced with a situation, you really don't know until you're there, and you were thrown into the mix. But by doing it that way, you had to learn, you had to adapt, you grew, you got great knowledge, you had to know the contract inside and out. So over the last 6 years, almost 7 years, you have really carved a niche in this town, and all of Worcester County, as being one of the top agents to represent buyers. There's very few out there that are going to work with more buyers than you have in the last 6-7 years. So tell me a little bit more. Why do you think you've had so much success starting off here with buyers? Do you think it goes back to your days of customer service? Do you think it's been able to listen to their needs? What would you attribute the majority of your success too?
I think it all comes down to customer service. Past growing up, dealing with kids for coaching, dealing with their parents and teaching, and then taking that to the next level, working in the bar, talking to people, left and right. I'm selling the food. I'm selling their business I work for, and taking that into real estate. People want the second home or their first home, whether they bought multiple houses in the past or this is their first one. I kind of lay it out there and say, listen, let's take our time. Let's go through this. Let me give you the whole outline. Now, I'm going to work with you. I'm not going to pawn you off to someone else after you go through this. I'm going to work with you from the beginning till the very end, where we sit back and have that little blue drink and say, congratulations, here's your key, and we're good to go. I think people need to know a little more. They need to be a little educated what the process is like. It's changed a lot in my 7 years here, but it's hard for people to see that when they go on the internet. And they really want that face-to-face. They don't want to talk to a computer. They don't want to ask Siri, but they want that face-to-face, the knowledge of your local knowledge of the market. And that's what I try to give people in the most stress-free way.
So with that, what are you seeing as some of the top challenges that buyers are facing today? And maybe I should back up. Maybe I should say, what have you seen as the biggest changes in the last 6 years that buyers have had to go through? I mean, we've had market changes, but what else have they had to face?
I think it goes back, back to the Obama administration when it comes to the pre-approval process. People just thought maybe many years ago where, hey, you want to get the house, good, talk to the bank, boom, you're done to go. Well, there's a lot more hoops they have to jump through. I took that on personally as I refinanced. I'm like, wow, now I really understand part of what a buyer has to go through, what they have to sign, what documents they give. And you give everything you have, and they want more. And you have to explain it to them. It's going to take a little time, but once you get through that, you know what you're pre-approved for. It's a lot more easier to focus on the internet because that's where all the buyers are. They're looking at their phone the first thing. I think it was over 60% of buyers look on their phone for the property before anything else. They don't look in the newspaper much because the internet is everywhere. It's in your pocket. Everywhere you go, you tell your friends, look at the house I found. So a little challenge for them is once they find that, now you have to find who's going to represent you, or do you need to be represented? How would they know that? So we try to put out, I think for us, some technology, some videos, so people understand what the process is, how I can help you out. My knowledge of the local market really can make it a little easier, and you'll understand the whole process and not be a little frantic when something does pop up.
So staying along the same lines of challenges, I mean, so you've done a good job. I mean, I've listened to you, and anybody who's ever worked with Mike really knows that he does a good job of explaining the entire process, and a big portion of that is going through that financing, the pre-approval process. But what about once you guys have gotten together, you've explained the process, you're going out and look at properties. I'm hearing that it can be somewhat challenging for buyers. From an inventory standpoint, finding the right properties. So what are your techniques with finding the right properties? And then when they do find the right property, you've had great success at helping the buyers actually negotiate and secure it. So tell me a little bit more about that and how you've had that success.
So inventory has been low here for quite some time. So the best way I can tell, a buyer is once we find this house, let's say for $200,000, and they say, geez, let's offer $150,000. Now they're throwing that right off. They have no idea maybe what else is out there. And I'll say, where do you get that number from? Well, I think that's a good number. Well, I said, okay, that's great, but let's look at what's been sold, comparable to this. So I see the more information I can have to present this offer to the seller, it's going to be easier for you and maybe for the seller to accept the property or to accept the value. It might be priced a little high. Well, why is it? Well, here's the last couple comps that were here. We bring that knowledge. Not only does the seller get the price from their agent, but when they hear that from another buyer's agent and the buyer, now it kind of sinks in like, yeah, you know what? We are priced a little high. These two did sell like this. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I guess we could go to this offer and we, maybe get the better deal that way. But I think it's whoever has the most information is king.
Absolutely. So you're doing. I mean, you're obtaining the information. You're doing your research. You're getting that information, and you're using it as leverage. And are you finding that other agents don't necessarily do that, or you've just gone deeper and know where to get that information to then use it to your advantage?
I think it goes both. Some agents, I think they know where they want to price it, or they say, hey, let's just price it higher because they deal mostly with sellers. Me dealing with buyers majority, I understand what they want, what the knowledge, the knowledge I have of what's been sold and what the inside of that looks for, stuff that I've sold or going to the property physically and looking at it, is a little more, it's a little more easier to make that offer. If you do make it lower and you have the knowledge why it is, the information, well, then there's kind of a reason. And you also have the appraisal. And it does have to appraise for the value if you have a lender. So you have to remind the seller that, hey, you might be priced high and you think, but if this doesn't appraise, maybe hope for a cash buyer, which sometimes are few and far between.
Yeah. So you're and also you bring up a great point, and you're out in the streets. I mean, so when you're able to are attempting and have had success negotiating for your buyers, a lot of that comes back to the fact that you are out in the streets. You know the inventory. You've seen the one down the street, and you know the condition. And that was great property that sold for this and it had this, but yours does not have that. So you've been using it to your advantage to leverage.
Correct. Living in Berlin, knowing the town there, our office here in 75th Street in Ocean City, and we deal with a lot of condos. We're in and out. I deal with buyers weekly. I look at properties every day, watching the market, what's been sold, what's not been sold, what prices dropped, and knowing that if something that a buyer's already talked to me about, looking for, and that price drops, I'm like, hey, let's go first one on it. This is more priced, affordable, and it's right there where it should be. And let's jump on this quick. So being out there, having the knowledge, and being there every day, pounding the streets, and you get to know the market.
Yeah. So then that's a great segue for kind of maybe your natural transition in your career as an agent. What I'm seeing from you is you've become probably the premier buyer's agent in the town of Ocean City. Like I said, very few people have worked with more buyers than you. But I've also seen this transition, maybe this maturing of you, and what we're seeing is you're working very successfully with a lot of sellers now. Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing that some of that success is due to the fact that you know the mindset of a buyer. So tell me a little bit more about that and that transition now with helping sellers that get top dollar in this market.
So I think a lot of the buyers I've had turn into sellers and then want to turn to buyers again, or they see they've had a great relationship with me, a great experience, and they spread the word. Mm-hmm. Obviously the Zillow reviews, which are great. People look at that, and I've had phone calls say, hey, I see you have a lot of reviews. You deal with buyers a lot. Great. Do you ever work with a seller? I go, I have, and I know what buyers want from dealing with them, so I can help you a little better on pricing your property, how it shows, how we market it, and everything we have to experience here at Ocean City we can give to you, or Atlantic Shores really.
So that's become a greater percentage of your business over the last few years here. What stories do you have? At this point, I just kind of wanted to see, any stories, success stories recently, or interesting stories, whether it be a buyer or a seller. It could even be a challenge. What are you seeing right now, or have you had anything interesting lately that that's a good story you'd want to share?
Put me on the spot here. There's a couple buyers I've had before. One in particular, I have a couple of kids that come to town. They're from New York, great couple, great kids, and they just, we looked at a lot of properties and they weren't sure. And I think after the third time we met, they said, this is the property, and you see the kids' face light up. That's what really makes you, happy. Wow, this is great. And everything went through great. They have a great home, second home, and they have the pool, they have the beach on both sides, living the best of both worlds, and they get to rent it out and make some money. Another story I know, someone I worked with in the bar business. Great guy. Him and his wife lived in a small little three bedroom with 4 kids. They rented, and they go, Mike, I gotta get out. We have 50 days. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, let's look. Let's get you pre-approved. Talk to a local lender. Boom, she was on it. Looked at a house, and I think it brought a tear to my eye when the daughter said, wow, look at this house. We get our own bedroom. And I was like, wow, I never think kids have to share bedrooms. And they were so happy. Their primary home got them a great deal. They moved in. They love the house. They're still there. And I still see them. And it's every time I see them, he gives me a hug. It makes you tear up a little bit. Like you're helping a family. You're helping them make their memories here in the town.
That's what it's all about too. It's like it becomes rewarding, right? When you actually help somebody go through with probably their biggest investment that they're going to face in their lives, and have some success, with doing that, and then they come back to you. Like you said, it's all about customer service. You started seeing that with the family business, transitioning into the bar restaurant business, and bringing that into the real estate world, which is pretty awesome. So I really appreciate you taking time to talk to me today. One last thing, for people who don't know Ocean City, don't know this area, they're coming from Central PA, they're coming from the Baltimore, Washington area, they're coming from back home, in New York. What is it about this area that people love? Why do they keep coming back for vacation and then eventually think, you know what, I'd love to own a piece of property here at the beach?
It was hard for me that I never heard of Ocean City growing up, and we weren't a big vacation person, so I didn't know till a high school friend moved here. But once I got here, I mean, the big thing I thought is that this is a 10-mile strip, and some places you can see the bay and you can see the ocean at the same time, and the ocean it's clean, the beaches are clean, and this was a family resort. You're not getting a lot of the places that are over commercialized or have some of the adult entertainment here. We don't have that, and the town does a great job of keeping it clean, keeping them out. There's plenty of golf here for everyone. It's really, you can do anything. You can hit the rides, you can hit the beach. You can take rides in helicopters, parachuting, golf. There's indoor golf. There's the outlets to go shopping. Aztec Island, the wild ponies out there. There's a little bit of something for everyone here.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever it is, maybe it's not right for you, but you come here and you're like, wow, I really love this place. A lot of people, that their first time here was just like, this is unbelievable. And the stories they tell me are, geez, I came to Ocean City, we thought we'd do something different instead of go to Myrtle Beach because it was too far. And they go, we love it. And here we are 2 years later, Mike, we want to buy something.
Yeah. I'm
like, it's great, get you part of the community.
So then from a buying standpoint, what are the benefits? I mean, we see, I don't have the breakdown with us, but we see you're working with a lot of primary residence people, but you're also working with people who want a vacation home, second home, and then you're also kind of dealing with investors. So what is the, if you had to kind of classify the type of buyer that you get the most, what are they looking for when they call you up?
So they're looking for their second home, usually 2-bed, 2-bath, close to the beach, but they also say, you know what, we want to rent it out a little bit too. And I'm like, that's where I can help you out also. So we put the numbers together on something, we get you pre-approved, something you can find in your price range, and then we can hook you up with someone who does rentals. And if you use it 2-3 times a year, great. We have another 10, 15 weeks or weekends that you can make some money on this. It's going to help pay for your taxes, it's going to pay for your condo fees, and might put a little money in your pocket. And you get to use that and feel it. That's the best thing about that. For the investors, someone just looking directly to invest, we can help you that also. Find some places that are high income, whether it's the Bayside, the Ocean Side, Sunset Island, another great community.
Yeah.
But they just want to use that, and hey, let's put the money down, let's rent this out, and it can be a renting machine. A lot of people have done that, and they've come back and say, let's buy another one. Let's keep going because we're doing great. I'm like, that's awesome to hear. Instead of hearing the opposite of where they say, oh, we're sinking in it. But I haven't heard that. People want to use it, and they want to make a little money on it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Making your money work for you. If you have it in your stocks, which stocks are going up, you see it. Stocks are up, stocks are down. Stocks are up, stocks are down. You look at it and see it. But why not take some of that money out, put it towards something that you can make some money on? Real estate has gone up, since the 2000, little hiccup we had in 2008. It went down, but our experts are saying we're right back on track where it was. And we see that the best known investment is real estate, and it's also something you can feel, you can use. So not only are you going to make some money, but hey, I'm going to take the kids down here, have a guys' weekend, do some golfing, and there you are. You got a place to stay. You don't have to worry about paying for hotels all the time.
Yeah. So you brought up the market, and obviously this could be a whole other show in itself. But I know you stay in tune with some national speakers and some companies out there to make sure you're positioned in the best way to advise your clients. But what are you seeing, snapshot, next year, 12 months? What are we going to see from inventory and or appreciation here in the Ocean City market? What are you forecasting?
The last expert, Steve Harney, I look at a lot of his webcasts, Tom Ferry, all in the real estate fundamental group there. They're saying about 5.8% could be going up, which is a great. Now that's nationally, not just locally, but they're not saying it's going down. They're saying everything's positive. So I know this year they were worried about 2019, and they said this year was actually just as good as 2017, which we had. I know we had a great year here,
yeah.
One of our best. And we've seen the same thing. Our numbers are still going up. We're still seeing more people come down to buy. Inventory is low. It's tight, so you got to find that right person to show you the place, to show you the town, to give you the numbers. But definitely, it's going in the right direction. Everybody's worried about a bubble, and they're all talking about that. And don't listen to the haters out there. Do your research. We're not hearing anything like 2006. The stock market is still great. The unemployment is a lot better. The economy is better than what happened then. We're still moving forward. We're still helping as many people as we want because we have a lot of people that are looking for properties.
And the mortgage world is stable. It's nothing like it was back then, where we had the lending guidelines. To your point early in this conversation, you talk about how things have changed and how much the lending world has tightened up. So it almost seems like the lending world has corrected itself, and we don't necessarily need to worry about that stated income, no doc loan debacle that we had years ago.
So that's a great thing with some of our local lenders here. They give us an app they can use where if I'm out with a buyer and say, listen, if you're thinking pre-approved, we can punch their information in, and by the time we're done showing maybe 8-10 properties, we might get an email saying, here's the number you're pre-approved for. I'm like, great, we're one step ahead. But a lot of the lenders are really helping us more. I know they come in and see us quite a bit, have a little mini seminar, and let us know what's going out there, what programs are out there. USDA, FHA, conventional. I know there's some, if you're self-employed, that's sometimes hard for a bank to give you the money. They have programs for that. First-time buyers, there's programs. So they really out there. There's a lot more things that you probably know about. That, always ask us. We stay on top of things.
That's great. So you mentioned inventory is still tight. So I personally believe that might be one of the largest obstacles that buyers are facing today, is the fact that they want to buy, the interest is there, interest rates are super low, so they want to take advantage of that. But when they go to look, they're having a little bit of trouble finding the right properties. What can you do, and what do you do as an agent to help them with that process?
So it depends where our clients are coming from. We get some from Zillow, from Realtor.com, some of our promoting. But people tell me, hey, on Zillow I saw, 123 ABC Way for sale. And I'll look into it, and I'm like, well, actually sold 3 months ago. Oh, I really love this place. I'm like, well, what are you looking for? Let me know your criteria where I can put it into our system, and then I can give you something that's accurate, something that's updated instantly. So you'll know if it's active or if it's under contract or if it's already sold.
Some more accurate information.
That's the best thing. Zillow's great, but sometimes it's not always 100% accurate. Everything that you would send to me, I'd send to you, and I'll send you what's active, what's pending, to give you what's closed, to give you an idea what something like this sold for. So you can understand the market a little bit just like I do. And at the same time, if something comes up new, or if it's reduced in price and the criteria that you're looking at, I could send that to you instantly. You'd be the first one to know. So when you can jump on something and say, hey, I want to buy this, and not be the third or fourth person in line who, if it shows that well and it might go that fast, you can be the first one up there. We can get it done and get you to the home you want. Yeah.
So with tight inventory, the speed to property sometimes is the most key. And one of the obstacles we have here is a lot of our clients don't live in Ocean City. They live, in the Mid-Atlantic region here, a couple hours away. So I know that you do have some techniques when a property first comes on the market, say it's a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, they can't get here to Friday, and the buyer doesn't want to lose out on it. I know you're doing some things for that buyer from time to time to help them secure the property.
Giving away my secrets here. Yeah, definitely. Everyone works there Monday through Friday job. And it's hard to get here. If a property comes out Monday or Tuesday, and they said, Mike, this could be the one, but I can't get there till Friday night or Saturday morning. What can we do? I'm like, listen, no problem. They'll tell me the property. I'll go over there, do a little video, talk to them on the phone, maybe a little FaceTime, just take a look, anything really you like. We can get you in, and if it's something you like, let's put the offer in, sight unseen. You have enough contingencies where if something, by the time you get here on a Friday or Saturday, and if it's something you don't like, you can still back out of the offer. Don't do that often, but if you're from out of state, or if you're far away and out of state, but if you're far away, that's the best thing I can do for you. And you can be the first one, because if you wait till Saturday, that property might be gone if that's the one.
Yeah.
Because not just you, how many other people out there are doing the same thing, looking, well, I'll wait till Saturday. Don't wait till Saturday. Give me a call, let me do the video. Let's put the offer in, come down Saturday. If you still love it, great, we're moving forward, we'll get you in there in 30 days.
Yeah.
If for some reason you don't like it, well, there's contingencies in there that are built in that can protect you. So now you can say, okay, I'm out of there. But we want to put you in the driver's seat. I want you to control your own destiny. And with that, get the video, call me, get the offer in. If it's accepted at the price you want, let's move forward.
So you're putting them in the best position to be able to secure the property ahead of the competition, and at the same time protecting them in the event that for some reason it's not the one. You've got that protection there for
And protecting them in case, getting that offer in accepted so no one else can come in and make this a multiple offer situation. Now the price goes higher, and now maybe you're out of your limit where you should be buying.
Great. Well, I don't want to get into too many more of his secrets because he does have a bunch of secrets. He's, like I said, he's cut his teeth here in Ocean City and as being in getting the reputation as being the top buyer agent here in town, or agent that works and can represent buyers. So I don't want to get into much more. But you've had a great 6, almost 7-year career here. Where we're super happy to have you as part of our company. From the beginning, you've led the way. You've become a leader throughout the company, and I've seen that growth, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
So, transitioning here, switching gears real quick. I mean, so what advice would you have, since you've gone through this process here with us, with the Haley Group and Atlantic Shores Realty, and you've grown? What advice would you have to a new agent joining the company, and or not necessarily here, but just in general, a new agent here at the beach? What advice would you have to them? What are the things that they need to be aware of and are going to help them grow faster?
Well, I think the one thing when people still talk to me and say, "Hey, I just got my real estate license, or I'm taking it." I'm like, "That's great. Where are you going to work with it?" I don't know. You ever sold real estate? No. Well, why don't you come talk to me? Come talk to you. Explain what we do. I think our company's great for the new real estate agent, someone who doesn't really know, because when you take the test, it tells you the real estate rules, regulations, the laws. It doesn't tell you how to sell it. What to do. A lot of scripts, technology, all of that, knowing the market. That's something that I think Atlantic Shores, that's one thing that when we talked, that's like, wow, this sounds great, let's do it. And then from listening to you, from all your experience, from our coaching, which we went through a couple coaching companies, but the Tom Ferry organization, they've been unbelievable. Our coaches that we have, they're always there for us. We talk to them, 2-3 times a month. And they give us a lot of the new technology that is on the West Coast, where they're based, where it doesn't really hit here yet. Might take a little bit.
So we're ahead.
For instance, our video, here we are. Our video for open houses, our video when we sold, all the things we do, no one was doing that until maybe about a year ago. When would we start? 3 years ago? 3 or 4, we started doing that. I'm like, wow, no one else is doing video. And people were saying, why are you doing a video? I'm like, watch. It's working. It works for us. It gets our name out. It gets our product out, and people understand that. But for a new agent, if you're looking really to learn how to sell real estate, and you want to be part of a great family, something that I highly recommend. I mean, Atlantic Shores is great. From when we first started 7 years ago to what we had to what we have now, and especially looking around and seeing our signs out there, hearing people talk. Oh yeah, I've heard Atlantic Shores. Yeah, Ryan Haley, right? Yeah, I saw him on Beachfront TV. I'm like, yeah, that's us. That's us.
Back in the day.
But it's great that they still recommend that or recognize our name. And I think that's the big thing about our branding and our how we get our name out to people.
Well, in 7 years, I mean, we've more than quadrupled the number of transactions, the dollar volume on an annual basis, and quadrupled the size of the team as well. And that kind of mirrors what you've done. I mean, you've obviously from 0 to where you are today, you've more than quadrupled. But our success has truly been built on people like yourself. So we once again thank you for being a part of our team, part of our company, and we look forward to your success here moving forward.
Yeah, thanks to everyone out there who's put their faith in me, and I've come through and I've given you the home you like, and you've put the word out to other people saying, hey, I've had a great experience with Mike. Let him take care of you. That's the best compliment I could ever have is a referral from someone like you. So
if somebody wants to get in touch with you, Mike, what's the best way to reach you?
Mike DNOC website. You can go to Facebook, Mike DiPietro. My cell phone, 443-235-1427. You'll see me on social media quite a bit. Nowadays, Google Mike DiPietro, realtor. You can't miss me.
There it is. Thanks again for your time, Mike. Really appreciate it.
A pleasure.
Looking forward to seeing you grow some more here in the future. Thanks again, folks. Have a great day.
Thanks. See you at the beach.